Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Wow, I'm kind of late on this. I'm really sorry, but let's review it.
That's fun. That's because you suck.
So, basically, here's how this is gonna go. I'm going to review Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I'm gonna start with the good, then I'm gonna go to the mixed, and then I'm gonna go to the bad. After that, I'm going to rate it on an entertainment scale and story scale. So, let's get started with the good. And the best thing about this is definitely the monster action. The monster action is just awesome. You have lots of it. In the last movie, it was very much so complained about that there wasn't enough monster action. This one delivers monster action. There's monster action in the beginning, the middle, and the end, and it is great. It also, the CGI is obviously really good. And it's very realistic, so when you see it, you're like, wow. It's just CGI. Godzilla's come so far from a man in a costume and all that crap. Also, the looks of the different kaiju is amazing, especially Godzilla. There's this one shot where it's pretty up close to him, and he looks menacing. He looks really good. King Ghidorah looks really good. Rodan looks really good. Mothra looks really good. It's just all the monster stuff is really good. From that, let's go to the mixed. And the biggest thing that comes to mind is I heard that the movie has a good sense of humor, and when there are jokes, they land, but wasn't laughing a whole lot. So when I heard that, I was expecting to go into the movie laughing kind of like a Marvel movie, But there was like one joke that I really remember that actually was like legitimately funny. Also, the after credit was kind of confusing. That's about it for the mix, so let's move on to the bad. And the worst thing about this movie is the story is just kind of not great. I mean, it's just like I don't really know how to explain it without spoiling it, but the story isn't great, which also makes the pacing not very good. And so whenever there's the characters, whenever the monsters are on, you're like, yeah, monsters. But whenever the characters are on, you're just kind of like, so it slows down a lot when the characters come on. And speaking of the characters are very boring. The only character that I remember whose name is Millie Bobby Brown's character, and that's because her name is said so many times. And I think the only reason I don't remember the actually memorable characters are because their names aren't really said. But the newer characters are just kind of boring and you just don't really care about them. Like, you can think about one trait about them that separates them from the rest, but they don't seem like super duper different characters, and that makes it that makes it so that any other actor could play them, and it doesn't, the characters just weren't really interesting. On an entertainment scale, it's an 8 out of 10. The pacing is kind of bad, or not like super bad, but the pacing is, it can slow down a bit, especially when the characters are on, but when the monster comes on, it's really awesome. So 8 out of 10 on the entertainment scale because of the monster action, but on the story scale, I'm gonna have to give it a 5 out of 10 because it really just kind of falls flat with the characters and the story. And I forgot to mention the whole thing where why is a kid around all this stuff? Like, that's just a not realistic thing. But it's very much so a real watchable movie. It's kind of a Taco Bell movie, and if you don't know what that is, I get this from Sean Chandler at Sean Chandler Talks About. Go check out his channel. And a Taco Bell movie, it could be really any fast food. It's a movie that is entertaining and all that, but it's not exactly good for you or anything. So it's kind of like fast food. But yeah, so I would probably rewatch it over the first one because the first one definitely has a better story, more interesting characters, but less monster action. So when the when Godzilla comes on, you're just kind of yay, but like it's not that much. So it's a good movie that has a not so good story. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. And tell me what your thoughts are on Godzilla. And I can't wait for King Kong versus Godzilla.